In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 most overlooked aspects of manifestation, and I'm going to show you how you can push through them and use them in a powerful way so that it totally transforms your life. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 most common overlooked and underemphasized aspects of manifestation, and I'm going to show you why you should not ignore them, why using them can totally change the results that you're having, and it may be the missing link for so many people when it comes to the law of attraction. Now, as I have said before, I used to say in my earlier videos, almost every video, I would say we don't attract that which we want, we attract that which we are. We always get a reflection of who we are being. So many times we may say, oh, I'm focused on the car, the Lamborghini or something like that, but unless we become the kind of person that can drive a Lamborghini, unless we develop those mentalities and that kind of vibration that is compatible with it, we won't actually experience it, because it'll just be some cool idea in our mind. It'll be something like, yes, I see that, it makes me feel elevated emotion when I see it, but we don't actually believe that we can have it. So the key to this process is understanding some of the things I'll be sharing with you, and the fundamental basis of it, it's not that we get that which we want, but it's more so we get a vibration reflection of who we are. We always get a reflection of who we are being. So the question then is how are you vibrating? What are you vibrating with? Well, right now, the way that you know what your vibration is compatible with is you look around you to see what is around you. And that can sometimes be kind of like a wake-up call. Maybe you're like, well, I'm in this place that I don't really enjoy being, or I'm living in this house that I don't like, or whatever it is, and you look around, and then you can see that that is what is vibrationally compatible with where you currently are. But the key to this is being aware of what that is, because as you become more aware of what that is, then you can decide to change it. You know, a lot of our vibration, a lot of what we think is just on autopilot. It's on the day before, exactly what we're thinking of. We think on average the 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and about 90% of them are recycled from the day before, which means we're triggering the same emotions, we're taking the same actions, we're thinking the same thoughts, therefore creating the same things in our life over and over and over again. So the key is the awareness, and then we can begin to change it. Now the first part, the first most overlooked thing that I see when it comes to the law of attraction is understanding more about the passion principle. Now the passion principle has to do with understanding how we are in the moment, how we are feeling, and understanding that our vibration is important in the process of what we are focusing on. So normally, and a lot of times, people will just focus on that of what they want. But if what they want isn't something that they are passionate about, then what happens is the energy really isn't moving powerfully in that direction. The key to this is being aware that what we want, what we are passionate about, it's always going to be easy to focus on what we are passionate about. I really believe that one of the main reasons either my YouTube channel has grown so much or my brand in general, it's because I've put so much focus into it. And not only is it just focus, but it's focus that I'm passionate about. When I think about making a video, I feel a certain way. Even when I edit a video, I'm building my own brand. I'm building what I enjoy doing. Now here's the funny thing. Some people don't like it when I say this, but I probably work about 8 to 12 hours a day at least. And it involves editing, getting material, filming, different aspects of the business. But here's the thing. I absolutely love what I do, so it's very, very easy. Now here's something else though. Because it's not only what I love doing, it's also just, it's so easy for me to do it. It is so natural for me to do it because I focus on more the kind of person I'd have to become to be living the lifestyle that I am than what I actually want, which a lot of times is more of a short-term thing. So the thing I would encourage you to do is to pay attention to how much passion is in your life with what you're doing. Now, if you're doing something and your goal is to do something but you're not passionate about it at all, then I would say that it most likely, unless it leads to something that you're more passionate about, most likely it's something that you can begin to let go of and start to find something else. The reason I say that is because when things do get a little bit rough, it's hard to focus on it because you feel resistance. But if you keep it in mind that you are already passionate about it, it's very easy to continue to do it. So passion is like the underlying frequency that so many times is overlooked. People are like, oh, well, I want a Lamborghini. Well, I want that really nice house. Well, I want this. But are they really passionate about it? Or are they passionate about something where they feel in that state of being, in that vibration, and then a side effect of that is then they are experiencing what they want. The abundance comes through. I'm passionate first and foremost, with me making videos and me adding value in different people however I can. And because I'm passionate about that, a side effect of that is abundance in my life. So it's more so getting to the core of what are you really passionate about. And if you find that you're not passionate about something, then be aware of that and then decide to do more things. And here's the thing, you could start off really small. You can say, what am I most passionate about in this moment? Maybe you're like, you know what, the most exciting thing I could do, and also think of excitement with this. You could say the most exciting thing I could do right now is to go for a walk, or it's to go lay in the sun for a minute, or it's to go talk to this friend on the phone, or to go eat something. And every moment, as you are focused on what you're excited about, the thing is that causes a ripple effect of one exciting thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And what that does is that starts to put you in a powerful direction. So it doesn't have to be like, what am I passionate about? Like, what's my one purpose in life that I can think of right now? It's not so much that. It's more so, what can you do in this moment that allows you to feel that level of passion that then leads to the next best thing, to the next best thing, to the next best thing. And the cool thing is too, is that as you do this, you end up raising your vibration. And when you're in that high vibe state, things happen easier than ever. Now, something else that I did is I created a free guided meditation that will show you exactly how to raise your vibrational set point so that you create from a very powerful place, so that you create and you are that which you want. Now, that's something that's absolutely free. You can download it in the top of the description box below, and I recommend that you listen to it for 21 days because I think it'll absolutely change your life. So, the next and the second part of the most overlooked part of manifestation aspect is that of the ego and surrendering. Like, I just caught myself doing this the other day because I'm in the process of going through and doing certain things, finding a new place, like a new house, for example. And sometimes I feel like my ego is always trying to control everything, always trying to find everything, always trying to figure everything out. And because of that, it's like if something doesn't happen to the blueprint in my mind, I automatically start to feel resistance. And what I always have to do is take myself back and to, in a way, allow things to happen. As I allow, a lot of times it comes out even better than it would have if my ego was trying to, like, you know, hammer it in and figure it all out. So I also got this, I remember when I went to Costa Rica, the message that I got, it was like a life transformation place I went to, the message I just kept getting was to let go, let go, let go. I've kind of developed a strong discipline and willpower over the last year from everything I've been doing with doing as many videos as I've been doing and stuff like that over the last year. And I realized that I developed this necessity for my ego to do everything, which can only get me so far. So I kept letting go, and I realized things can be so much easier when I do let go of the outcome. Now think of it like this. Think of it like this is the valley, and then we have a mountain up here. On top of the mountain is our higher self. Our higher self is broadcasting a frequency to us, and that frequency is our natural true vibration. Our ego self is in the valley, climbing up the mountain, just kind of walking along, going up the mountain, and the frequency from our higher self is in the form of feeling, of vibration, of passion. And when we follow our passion, our excitement, we are listening to the message of our higher self. Now, our higher self will always guide us in the direction of where we can go, but if we insist that our ego knows everything, knows how to do and how to navigate through going up this valley up to the mountain, then what happens is a lot of times we'll go on routes that we don't necessarily prefer to take. Maybe we get to a certain point and we realize it's a dead end. Or we get to a point and realize that then we have to cross this big river, which would be really hard, but our higher self was telling us, hey, if you went a little bit more down the road, you'd see that then it doesn't seem like you go in this direction, but just trust me, if you do, you'll then cross a bridge that takes you over the river that makes it so much easier. But our ego's like, no, I know the best way. So the key to this is knowing the aspect of what the ego's job is and that of what the higher self's job is. The higher self is what is guiding us. The ego self's job is to focus in a certain way, but what we can begin to do is more so allow things to happen, more so let go of the outcome, and to just choose the most exciting thing in the moment. To do that, to know that as we do that, it causes a ripple of that vibration going out, and as we then do that, everything in our life begins to change, because we're more so coming at it from both sides of the spectrum. Instead of just our ego, we're able to also bring in that of our higher self and the connection that we have to who we really are. This, to me, has been a game changer. This is something that anytime I feel in resistance, I remind myself of this. Let go, let go, let go, surrender, because it's not my ego's job to do absolutely everything. And the more that I surrender in that way, the more powerful things happen anyway. So it's a funny paradox, but I encourage you to try this. One way that you could do it is the next time you find yourself with resistance, first off, just be aware that you are feeling resistance. And not just that, let it be okay. It's okay if you do feel resistance. It's part of the process sometimes for us to contract and then expand, to expand and then contract. It's part of the process, but let it be okay, because sometimes we beat ourselves up. We're like, oh, I'm feeling this way. I shouldn't feel this way. I'm better than this. But what that does is that causes even more resistance. So observe it, let it be there, and then decide for it to change. Now, the third most overlooked part of the manifestation process is that of our state of being and how it relates to our outer environment. Now, anytime something happens that we think isn't to the blueprint of our mind, something that we think isn't a part of the process, the moment that we give it the meaning that this is not supposed to be there, and the moment our state of being drops because of it, is the moment we take ourselves out of something good actually happening. Now, let me kind of explain it like this. This is the way I like to explain it. There's an infinite number of parallel realities that exist. There's an infinite number of parallel realities that exist, and we're constantly shifting through different parallel realities depending upon the focus and depending on the choices that we are making. So because of that, what happens is anytime we give something a certain type of meaning, we split ourselves onto a life track or to a parallel reality that is equal to that of the feeling that we just had. So if we say something happens, say for example, you are feeling a certain way, and then what happens is you get let go from your job, for example. If you give that a negative meaning, then what happens is all these infinite parallel realities you could shift to, you'll shift to a reality that has the effect of that negative type experience. So maybe it's hard for you to get a job again, or it's like you don't know what to do, or you feel negative emotion because of it. But that's because of the choice of the meaning we gave the situation. What if someone else were to give that meaning and say, you know what? I really didn't care about that job. It really wasn't something I was that passionate about. And then you give it a meaning that says, you know what? I'm going to take this time to figure out what I'm really passionate about. And you give it a positive meaning. Well, that person is then shifted to a positive timeline because of the meaning they've given it. Plus, their state of being has increased because of that. So anytime we give something a certain meaning, we are also then feeling a certain way about it. And if we simply decide that everything in our life has more of a positive meaning, then we will start to get a positive effect out of it. Now you may say, well, not everything is positive. There's some stuff that's undoubtedly negative. The key is redefining negative and positive in a completely new way. Anything that is negative means separating, segregative, something that's not a part of the process. Anytime there's something, a blueprint in our mind, and it's not going according to that, we then say it's a negative type situation. Now positive, instead of positive, thinking of it as good and negative as bad, negative is separating, segregative, and not a part of the process. Positive is part of the process. Positive is integrative. Positive is connective. So even if something negative happens, it doesn't have to be negative if you integrate it into your life and you assume that it's part of the process. So the next time you did, or something did happen, or maybe you did lose your job, you say, you know what? This is a part of the process in my life. This is part of the next step. I embrace it, and I know that something positive will come from this. This is something we can apply towards everything. We can always know, even if it were a relationship you just got out of. for example. Maybe you just got out of a relationship and it feels very negative. You can give it a positive meaning by integrating it, by allowing the experience to be there, by knowing that there's so many people out there, and if you had this connection with this one person, there's billions of other people out in the world. The chances that there's someone out there that you resonate with even more are very high. So you see, this is about focus and perspective, and we will always get a reflection in our life of that which is equal to our state of being and the meaning we give certain situations in our life. So as we begin to reframe things in our life, things begin to change in a very powerful way. So these three things that I just shared, I think that if we start to look at them more and start to incorporate them, they can absolutely change our life. The first one is about passion, understanding that when we align with being more passionate, when we align our emotion with that of what we love, and we start to really incorporate that, things will happen in a very powerful way. It'll also be a lot easier to focus in a certain direction. Secondly, understanding the job of the ego, not to do everything as the ego, to more so surrender and allow things to happen, to follow the guidance of our higher self on top of the mountaintop, metaphorically speaking. And then thirdly, the state of being and understanding how we can hold our frame, how we can choose things to be integrative. Everything is a part of the process to always elevate our emotion, because our state of being is not dependent on the outside. Its only necessity is to give positive meaning, and then it starts to generate the feeling from within. So another thing I'll be doing is more live Q&As on Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you go and follow me there. I also do a lot more either live Q&As, or I also do live meditations. So go and follow me there if you haven't already. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear on next to the subscribe button. That's the way YouTube does things now, is you actually have to hit that button to see the daily videos. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.